Hi, welcome back, it's Mark, and today we are on with some high bay lighting. We're going to jump straight out to site and have a look through exactly what we're up to. We've got a boom on site, which is quite exciting. Matthew's got his iPath licence, so he is the designated driver, and doesn't he let us know it actually. And yeah, we're going to have a look at that, swapping them over, how the booms work, how you can work safely in them, some of the other nuances to working at height as well. And also we've got a bit of work at the distribution board and some other new lighting, a new lighting circuit that's going in. Let's get straight on with it, straight to site and have a look. No waffling. So we've got our boom in, ready to go inside, and it's Speedy Hire who helped us out with this one. I had a right nightmare trying to get hold of a boom at short notice, and they've saved the day. It's a nice big one. Goes up to 15.8 metres, I think. Takes 230 kilograms in the basket, so 36 stone. Matthew's told me I'm beyond the weight limit of it, so I can't go in there, which is nice of him. That's the kind of thing I have to put up with at work. You'll see here, gives you the basic operator instructions of how to start it and then control it, and also with your emergency stop and your emergency release. So if someone's to get stuck in the platform, you can drop them down from the ground, which is an important feature. We don't want anyone stuck up there. You've also got the controls here for moving it around, which is great. The daily safety checklist, you've got to do this before you operate any powered access platform. Make sure if you are being asked to drive around in one of these things that you know of this, and that you have your iPath license. So Matthew's got his. He's the official driver on it, and he lets me know about that all the time. So he's the only person who can drive around in these things in our company, because he's the only one with a current valid in-date license. But yeah, he enjoys it, so that's good. And it's just safe distance of work really, so clear the area where you're working, and especially for us, because you know we've got some very valuable vehicles in this place and we don't want to be crashing into them or dropping anything on them. So clear the whole work area, make sure that you can operate safely, you've got plenty of room for the work task that you're doing, tethered tools while you're in there, full harness, and I'll show you this with the guys suited up, helmets as well, so you know you're making yourself as safe as you possibly can be. And we'll demo this while we fit the skylights, so the Collingwoods, and I'll get the guys to get some footage from up there and show you it later on in the video. Okay, so we can see Matthew moving the boom into position. He's given himself a good bird's eye view up there, because as I said, there's a lot of cars around and he wanted to make sure he wasn't going to be hitting anything. Once we get the boom inside, you can see we've positioned it to give nice easy access, and you can see the work area in front of him while he's preparing his jack chain, and move final position to be able to allow safe access for fitting the new lights we're going to install. So you can see here, hopefully he's busy up there just preparing the next stage. You can see him moving up again, so this is how the boom operates, and you've got to have a helmet on in there to make sure you're not going to be bumping your head on anything. These are the LED 70 watt battens we've gone for, so these for around the perimeter of the workshop, and the idea is to provide lighting that they can check for pin work. This is a company that details vehicles, so they were after really high power, intense lighting. And these are from Collingwood as well, so these are the 200 watt high bays, and again we're looking for longevity and quality really. We don't want to be here replacing these again in a year or so. They're the harnesses that we have in the team, so we're keeping ourselves safe. You'll have noted Matthew clipping on there, so PPE very important, ensuring your safety while you're at height. You'd only get one chance to fall from somewhere like that. And these are the distribution boards, so this is the main panel board. You can see there we've got somebody hacking away on that corner. I'm not sure exactly what for. We couldn't figure out, you know, why someone would do that, but there you go. This is the distribution board for most of the office space and some of the lighting around the unit. And yeah, we have to make some isolations on here for changing over those warehouse lights. There are a few gremlins in this existing system, but that wasn't our primary concern with the work we were doing. We was trying to locate the feed into the distribution board in the service workshop, because that was the one we were taking our new lighting circuit from. And because things aren't very well labelled in this building, it was a bit of a challenge, but we got there. It was the actual 12th way on this TPM board, so distribution board C, and we had a 32 amp breaker on there, which was more than ample for the load that's down at that board. It's very lightly loaded at present, and we've added around 3 or 4 amps to it with our installation, and we'll see a bit of that in a minute. We'll jump around and have a look at that board and what's involved when we get around there. Just to show you in the plant room itself, you can see here we've got a warning sign for when that door's open, but you've got the main service head there coming up into the metering equipment, and then some steel containment around to the main panel board. And that's typical of what you'll find. This is the Hager 3-phase board we were working with, and it was nice to have a 4-pole isolator so we could work safely while we were inside that board. You can see we've prepared our steel wire armour cable at the top there, and as I said, that's 4mm, and that's more for future thought than anything else. And we had to wire this differently to normal, so we've put the cabling in first because due to the fuel shortage we had a delay in the materials getting delivered, so we've had to work a little bit backwards on this one, but we got there in the end. It's come out nicely, so that's the main thing. You'll see here this is Matthew working at height, and again using click connectors to make it as quick as possible and as safe as possible while he's up there. Limit your time in the air, and you can see here the lights as they've finished up around the unit. They are really pleased with these and the finish achieved. So I hope you found that interesting. It was an idea to share some of the different types of work you'll encounter as an electrician, and this one was working at height using a boom. Obviously they can be a lot of fun, but we've tried to show through the course of this video that the safety aspect is also critical. So you'll have noticed Matthew in his harness with his helmet, and also he has his IPAF license, so he's been trained to operate those machines. And it's important for your own safety, but also for the potential of the safety of people in the work area and damage to that work area too. So when you're in a warehouse full of millions of pounds worth of vehicles, one wrong move can suddenly get very expensive. So you want a competent and trained operator, which sadly I have to admit Matthew is. And also remember your PPE for the task you're going up there to do as well. So with that kind of thing, it's all in planning. Make sure you've got the equipment in the basket that you need, because no one has to enjoy going all the way up and getting yourself into position to have to drop back down again because you forgot your snips or something. So a little key tip there for you. I've been there and done that a few times myself, and it's very irritating. Yeah, otherwise we run a new circuit in for the lighting around the perimeter, and that's going to expand as time goes on. There is additions coming there, I think, having spoke to the client. So we've pulled in 4mm radials, and you know the intention with that was if it does end up expanding, we've got options for the volt drop where we're not going to encounter a problem, and the load on the circuit as well. So it's just a bit of forward thinking where you're going to make your life easier and also the customers as well. We could have got away with smaller conductors on this one quite easily, but you know, a bit of foresight doesn't hurt, I don't think. That's the whole purpose of this channel as well. It's to try and show you the different work activities you can end up doing as an electrician, not so much to the point of how to. There's other channels who do that fantastically well. GSH as one, and then you've got all your famous YouTubers who show you the day-to-day of how they actually install things, and that's fantastic. I'm trying to show on my channel some of the different areas of the industry you can work in, some of the big topics that crop up because I like to discuss them, and yeah, hopefully that's providing a bit of insight and maybe inspiration to one or two who want to come and work in this industry, because I think it's a brilliant job to have. It's one I've enjoyed for over 20 years now. And if I can help other people decide, yeah, that's what I want to do, that looks really interesting, then I'd be made up over the moon chuffed with that. So yeah, that's my aims and goals with this channel. Just share a bit of my knowledge with other people. The engagement in the comments as well is brilliant. I'm learning from those all of the time. I love that. The last few videos have been brilliant actually for people coming forward with their ideas and observations and what they think of these installs. We can all learn from each other. As I say quite often, I don't know everything. I'm not a smart ass. I'm just an electrician who's going about his day-to-day work, trying to do it as well as I can. And if I can learn from other people through the comments on these videos, then that makes me better. And if something I'm sharing with the people watching helps them as well, you know, that works both ways, doesn't it? So fantastic. I love that. I don't want to come over as like a preachy, holier than thou person who knows everything about everything. There are channels out there that do that whilst not showing any of their own practical abilities and skills, and you know, I'm trying to actually show that I walk the walk and what I can do, and that I will make mistakes, because that's the other thing where people often say YouTube is encouraging bad practices and stuff. I think it's just honest day in the life sharing of what you do day to day, and that's the best way to be. Mistakes will be made. People will get stuff wrong. People will get stuff right. It's just the nature of the beast, and no one's actually setting out to do a bad job, I don't think. Certainly the people who are sharing content on YouTube, we need to remember that. It's really easy to be judgmental and criticise others, but I always think it's better to show what you've got, show what you can do yourself, and yeah, that's the purpose of my channel. Anyway, enough waffling about that. The next video up, we've got a different workplace again. So that's one of the things we do try and do. We cover all areas of the industry, we really do. We end up working in all sorts of different places, from domestic to industrial, and some military things as well. So it can get quite interesting. And this one is a 4th floor apartment, domestic, and it's not been touched since the 60s. It's actually a really interesting building, not so much for just the electricals. There's some old lifts in there, for example, and the intercom system is interesting, shall we say. But we can have a look at all that on the next video. It's got some pyro in there as well on the submain, which is a bit different. I don't think we've shown that on our channel before, so we can have a look at that as well. And yeah, it's accessing floor spaces within a shared building where you've got issues of who owns that space, so we can tackle all of that. And that'll probably be out in a couple of weeks. But to everyone who's stuck with this one right to the end for watching, get involved in the comments as always. If you have any ideas where we can do things better, don't be shy. We're not here to shoot anyone down for telling us we've done things wrong or that's like. And we will catch you on the next one. Well done on this particular job to Matthew and Nathan. I think they absolutely nailed it. You know, Nathan's settling in fantastically well, actually. He's doing a good job. And whilst he's a bit camera shy, the important thing is he's an excellent apprentice electrician, and Matthew, now in his own right, is a brilliant electrician of his own making. So credit to them, and we'll catch you on the next one.